Well, the weekend has just begun. As you know, we prepare for All In for AEW, but however, that's until tomorrow. But however, for today's episode, I'm only going to be doing just two reviews for all of you. The first one is from ChocoPro. This is from August 19th. They just recently uploaded on their YouTube channel. This one celebrates the anniversary of the fourth generation Yoshi girls who were trained under Emi Sakura. That consists of none other than Sayaka, Chiko Shikawa, Tokiko Kihara, and Sayuri. Only four of them out of the about five or six who were part of the fourth generation remain. And of course, this was their moment. And of course, we have AEW Collision. Before we head to Wembley Stadium, we're going to see a lot of things taking place before AEW All In. And of course, we got a small number of news updates to tell what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J. Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. So, I hope you guys enjoy this channel where we do a lot of daily reviews of professional wrestling for various promotions. So, if you like this channel, please subscribe to us. And of course, if you like this episode, please give us a like. So, let's get started with our very first review. This is from ChocoPro with number 327, and this is a very special day. This took place back on August 19th. Now, the reason behind that is due to the fact, of course, that we saw that this is, of course, the Yoshi Girls' fourth year anniversary, or as we call them, the fourth generation. Now, this is consistent of Chiko Shikawa, Sayaka, Tokiko Kihara, and Sarui. Now, these are four of the remaining of the fourth generation girls. I think there were six of them from the very beginning. Lulu Pencil, who we haven't seen for quite some time, and of course there's Rin, who we know her as Yukari Hosokawa, who is currently signed with GLEAT. The reason she was with GLEAT due to the fact that she wanted to try to find a way to focus on her studies and in wrestling at the moment. But right now these four remain. So let's get started with the first match. We have tag team action. We have Sayaka Obihiro teaming with Shin Suzuki to take on Saki from Colors and Masahiro Takanashi. So there was a lot of good moments on this one. Of course, Sayaka and Obi actually know each other very well. However, in this case, you know how this is going to turn out. Masahiro Takanashi tried to be a much clever wrestler that he's normally been, and of course, that's always what he does. So he was able to pick up the win when he pinned Sayaka Obihiro, and 1, 2, 3, it was just done. Now, this is a very interesting match. As I mentioned, this is the celebration of the fourth generation Yoshi wrestlers celebrating their fourth anniversary. Mei Shruga from a different generation teams up with the new generation, the non-Emi Sakura wrestlers. We got the sisters, Miya Yotsuba and Nonoka Seto. They take on the fourth generation girls. We have Chi, Sayaka, and Tokiko, but Sayuri was there too. So I thought it was a real fun match. I think this is a very interesting match that, okay, we have all four of these girls in one side, and let's see how they'll do. But however, we can see the progress with Miya Tsuba, who's been with the promotion for almost a year, has grown so much. But however, in the end, it was of course Sayaka who picked up the win when she applied a big submission onto Miyatsuba to pick up the win. Now, for our Junkin tournament, I can tell you that Masa couldn't make it through. Neither did May. But somehow, in the end, it was Sayaka Obihiro, and of course, the other Sayaka that managed to get into the finals, but unfortunately, Sayaka Obihiro was the one who won. And of course, at the post show, they celebrated the anniversary of the fourth generation girls, Sayuri, Sayaka, Chi, and Tokiko, being thankful for 4 years of their lives with the promotion and all this and other that. I'm sure they wish Emi Sakura was there, but we all know where she's at right now. She was currently in the U.S., but they are going to meet up with her since they're collaborating with the promotion Pro Wrestling Eve. But they did announce for an upcoming event, 20-year anniversary or so, and amongst the matches is featuring Mei Suruga to take on Murder Grandpa, the King, Minoru Suzuki. So this is going to be a fun match. I can't wait to see it. So I think that's pretty much it with ChocoPro. Let's move on with AEW Collision. Okay, AEW Collision, also final go home show before we get to Wembley Stadium. I'm sure everybody's going to be excited to see what happened. Now it started out with Jack Perry, who decided that he wants to bury the FTW title, but however, his little memorial was in fact interrupted with the return of Hook, who is going to reclaim what rightfully belongs to him, which is the FTW title, which is, as you know, a family emblem, as Taz and Shivani and of course Excalibur like to put it. As you know, Hook has always been so close to that belt since he was a kid, and now he cannot allow for Jack Perry to destroy it. So he will get that title back sooner than we think. Now, our first match features Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, and Penta El Cero Miedo taking on Kip Sabian, the Butcher, and the Blade. Now, keep in mind, there's still a bit of a long-standing rivalry between both Kip Sabian and, of course, Orange Cassidy. However, Orange has to be more careful about his hand, as you know that the Orange Punch is not what it used to be. But, however, in the end of this match, it was a sliding lariat by Eddie Kingston to put away Kip Sabian. And of course, there was a nice, interesting promo. Now, the best friends haven't forgotten what the BCC has done, destroying Sue's van, but also harming her, trying to mistreat her. So they say they're going to walk in there and beat the crap out of them and all this other stuff. But however, the BCC once again decided to put out their little statement. And of course, Claudio saying that, Eddie Kingston made the biggest mistakes to walking out on his friends. The only problem is that they all side with Claudio. That's the problem that he does like. But he will be meeting with them at Wembley Stadium. So we'll see where it gets there. Now, our next match, we have the Dark Order members, Alex Reynolds and John Silver taking on Action Andretti and, of course, Darius Martin. Now, we have seen how Andretti and Darius have worked together very well for months. But the Dark Order, as you know, has been getting a new momentum ever since they defeated the Righteous and, of course, Stu Grayson. They decided to go a different direction. But once again, as always at the end, both Reynolds and Silver's combination of, what they do, I think they pulled it off on Darius Martin with success. So I'm sure the entire locker room will be on alert on that. Now, last Wednesday, there was an interview conducted by Rene Paquette. As you know, Darby Allin and Nick Wayne defeated AR Fox and Swerve Strickland in a tornado tag match, but this also resulted in AR Fox being fired by the Mogul Embassy. However, AR Fox decided to apologize to Nick Wayne and Darby. However, Nick Wayne is not having it. But of course, Darby, who's known AR Fox for many years, of course accepted his apology. But it's going to be Nick Wayne who's going to have a hard time trying to accept them. So I'm sure Darby will try to, not to convince him, but try to be reasoned with. Now, the Acclaim has put out a very interesting music video. As you know, they're going to be heading to All In with Daddy Ass, or as we know him, Billy Gunn, to take on, of course, the House of Black for the trios titles. So the music was pretty good, but however, the honest question is, can they finally fulfill what they were going to do to win the trios belts as they should have been from the very beginning? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Now, our next match, we have Big Bill with Ricky Starks taking on Vadim Morales. This became more of a squash match. However, Vadim Morales got chokeslammed by Big Bill, and just like that, Big Bill won his match. And of course, Ricky Starks went on a rampage with the belt to sending a strict message. So that pretty much what happens. Now, Lexi Neer conducted an interview with Ruby Soho. As you know what happened on Rampage, it seems like things are not going to settle down. But however, she did issue a challenge to Chris Statlander for the TBS title at Chicago for the All Out. The answer is, will Chris Statlander accept it? Well, during another interview by Lexi, of course, Chris actually did accept the title. But she did say she's tired of the Outcasts running around like little brats. So that's pretty much what she's going to go on. So it will happen. Now, our next match, we have Willow Nightingale taking on Robin Renegade. Now, the X factor of this match is, of course, Charlotte, who's on the outside. And, of course, she was going to interfere. That was no secret. But, however, they were trying to suplex her outside the ring. But, however, Willow actually took care of that, wiping them out. But it did give her the opportunity to take out Robin Renegade, then put her on the Dr. Bomb. 1, 2, 3, it's over. But one thing that's been clear from both commentators, Caprice Coleman and Kevin Kelly, that the women's that in no time or so we will see Willow Nightingale that should be able to one day challenge for the AEW Women's World Title. So that's something I'm sure we all can expect. So we'll see what happens until then. Now, our next match, we have Keith Lee with Zicky Dice. Now, Zicky Dice, as you know, he's been a free agent for a while. But, however, he has been, in this moment, he tried to act like he thinks that it's all in his glory. But, nope, it's all bask in your glory. And then he got powerbombed by Keith Lee, just like that. Now, apparently, Rush set out a very controversial video where he hired thugs to beat up on both Preston Vance, formerly known as 10, and his brother, and of course Rush's brother, Dralistico. But it became so violent. We don't know what the message is, but it seems like it's not going to be good at all. Now, finally, before our main event, Samoa Joe made his presence known, saying that he is going to join the commentary because he cannot interfere in the entirety of the match due to the integrity for All In. So basically, he said he's a man of his words, but we'll see how that rolls out. However, our main event is an all-star for the All In. We have Hook, Darby Allin, Sting, and CM Punk taking on Jay White, Luchasaurus, Brian Cage, and Swerve Strickland. But of course, we have Nana and Christian outside of the ring and all this. They were going to play some dirty tricks. However, Joe, who's been on commentary, has been staying close. But however, CM Punk struck a nerve on him when he applied a chokehold onto Brian Cage. But of course, Samoa Joe realized that the match was over. It became all hell broke loose. Cage and Joe and Punk went at it. Of course, Darby Allin and Sting attacked Swerve and Brian Cage. Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, they just ran out with their tails between their legs. Hook and, of course, Jack Perry got into it. So basically, it became out of control. Just like that. So anything could when we get to All In. So we'll see what happens. Until then, I will be reviewing that soon enough. That is right now a top priority. I think that's pretty much it right now with AEW Collision. So let's move on with our final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So this is what we have. As you know, I announced the NXT Global and Heritage Invitational. Two names have been pronounced for two different groupings, Group A and Group B. Now, more names have been announced. Let's go with Group A first. We have Butch, formerly known as Pete Dunne, and of course Charlie Dempsey. And for the Group B, we have Duke Hudson and Nathan Frazier. So I'm sure there'll be more names to be added into the Heritage Cup Invitational, but we'll see about that. Now, the heavyweight hustle. This was reported by Fightful Select. Calvin Tankman is now officially by next week a free agent. So I know he's signed with MLW, so it looks more like they're gonna let him go. So wherever he goes, I'm sure we're all gonna be proud of him and support him. So we're yet to hear from where he's gonna go there next. Now, finally, Japanese promotion to AEW, Active Advanced Pro Wrestling, has announced for their Infinity show that will take place this Sunday. They announced that Evo Girl, Sunny from Evolution Girls, will be in action to take on one of their top joshi wrestlers, Ayame Sazamura, and I think that's going to be great. I know that Evolution has been making presence known in various promotions recently, but that's going to be interesting for them. Now, finally, this is a very interesting development coming from Hiromu Takahashi. It was announced that Hiromu Takahashi will be making his presence known at DDT Ultimate Party at the Ryogoku Sumo Hall. However, the obvious question is, what's he going to do? Is he going to challenge Chris Brooks for the KOD Openweight title, or other wrestlers like Yuki Ueno? I don't know. That's the unclear. However, Scott Edwards did reported that he has been will be making appearances in different promotions this year, like New Japan, AEW, CML, Dragon Gate, GLEAT, All Japan, ROH, Noah, Freedoms, Impact Wrestling, DDT, and Michinoku Pro Wrestling. So there's going to be a lot of things about Hiromu, but we'll see what happens. I think that's pretty much it right now for our news updates, so let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. I want to apologize for keeping this episode short with just 2 reviews. The reason I did that is due to the fact that I actually went to the movies today to go see the Blue Beetle. Even though this is my channel is all about pro wrestling, if you guys want to ask me, was the movie good? The answer is yes. I loved it. I love what it did. So that's my perspective and my opinion of what I thought of the movie. So you guys should watch it yourselves and see your opinion. Now, however, for the upcoming episode, as you know, we have All In coming up. That is going to be a top priority, and so is Night 1 of the NWA 75. I'm still behind on GCW and other things if it's possible, but we'll see what happens. So I will try to catch up as much as possible with all these shows. I think that's pretty much it for now. But for now, I will see you guys on the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day.